It's the day of the Internal Communications and Engagement Awards, and I'm joined by Dominic Dow, who is Chief Technology and Product Officer at Robert Walters, and they're a talent, solution and recruitment company. And Dominic's here with me today to tell me a little bit about their work, which is shortlisted for Best Intranet, and was done with Add-in 365 to introduce a new digital experience internally. So to begin with, could you give us a bit of background to the work and just a little bit of why it was launched and what the sort of campaign looked like?
We're a global talent solutions business. We operate in 30 countries. I think the two relevant parts, I personally had always wanted to embark on this type of project, but I think in a big organisation with a lot of change, you've got to pick your time right. We were a user of Meta's workplace product, which is Facebook for the enterprise, and so the trigger point really was them retiring that product, and so we needed to look at an alternative, both to deliver that capability or a similar one. We weren't intent on just like for like, but also actually as a business in 2024 we'd merged 3 separate brands or go-to-market brands into one under a winning as one strategy. So actually connecting our employees globally, having changed from 3 separate brands into one, was really important. Given our employees spend more and more time at the computer, how do they feel part of the organisation? Well, the only way you can do that is by having an employee experience that actually connects them to the brand and the organisation.
Thank you. And would you say that merger was really the main drive behind launching a new digital experience?
Not directly. So I think it's with all these things, timing just played, I think, in our favour. It was really, I think, the retiring of Meta's workplace product that was really the trigger point. But actually that timed nicely with the fact that we wanted to, I think, support our winning as one strategy. So I think the value that we got from it, I think, was amplified because we had a sort of consolidation of brands, rather than it being directly a reason for doing it. I think now, sort of 12 months on from doing it, it's absolutely, I think, material to how our people feel connected to the Robert Walters brand. Some of the brands we had before weren't even called Robert Walters, so actually they felt very separate. So I think it was good timing, really, rather than maybe an intent plan. But I think the value is, as I say, being just doubled down because of what we have to try to do to connect our global employees together. And
obviously that sounds quite a big challenge and a big task. How did you begin and how did you approach introducing a new sort of internal solution for employees?
Obviously, I'm Chief Technology and Product Officer, so I run technology, but actually programs and projects and solutions like this need a cross-collaboration across all departments, particularly around comms and PR, HR services, employee experience. And so actually it was about bringing the right leaders together to be on board with not only what we want to achieve as an outcome for the business, but also actively involved in both choosing the right partner and the right product. And secondly, obviously then deploying it out can't be done with technology alone. The biggest challenge beyond just implementing technology is change and adoption. So actually making sure that our employees understand how to use the tool, get the most value from it, but also those leaders inform what we went live with, but also what we're now doing on the platform, because it's not a one and done activity. We've launched the solution in July last year, so we're 12 months more or less in, and we're adding new capabilities to support the business all the time.
And thinking back to when you first sort of introduced this, did you have an idea already of the sort of change impact solution that you wanted to see realised as a result?
Well, I certainly did, and I think part of that sort of collaboration with our colleagues was to make sure we all saw it the same. I think it's perfectly normal for HR to have a certain set of key requirements and objectives, technology the same. I think the big thing for me was 2 things really. Firstly, delivering a solution that is where our employees already are at. I think so, given that we're a heavy Microsoft 365 user, actually our employees are living and breathing in that day to day. So what we didn't want to do was to deliver a solution that's outside of that. So that, I think, drove part of our decision, certainly for me. Certainly colleagues in marketing, I think, had clear ideas about other solutions that are available. And whilst they might have been more similar to the workplace product, longer term for the business and that need to add new capabilities all the time meant that actually a Microsoft 365 based solution was better for us longer term. And actually colleagues, once we got into the detail, soon became on board with that objective, because it wasn't just about meeting the needs now, which was driven largely, as I said, by the retiring of Meta. It's about the things we want to do to support the business going forward.
Thank you so much. Just finally, before you go, do you have any tips for people watching, also looking to introduce a similar thing internally?
Well, yes, and then depending on the organisation, for us, I think, as I say, choosing the right solution was one part, and for me particularly, it was making sure we could do it inside Microsoft 365. For organisations of our size, we rely heavily on partnerships. So actually choosing the right partner, I think, is really important. And the work we've done together with Adin 365, I think, has been, as I say, really valuable for the business. They're a true sort of trusted partner. I'm the first to recognise that whilst they do this day in, day out for a living, it's only one thing that we have to do to support the business. So actually leaning in on their experience, taking their guidance, because they do it for lots of customers. You know, we're not so arrogant to believe we know how best to do these things. We know our business better, and Adin 365 works really hard to understand the objectives of those functional heads across HR, legal, finance, marketing, to inform what we do now and in the future. So actually choosing the right partner, I think, is really important, because I think it's that sort of one team approach that really makes the difference, rather than a sort of customer-supply arrangement. It's got to be a true partnership.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and best of luck at the awards tonight.